So let's see, we want to change this to hello world. Bam. Challenge destroyed. Alright. One second, guys. I just want to see how many challenges there are for this. There's 69. Alright. I could definitely take 69. Alright, so I think what we'll do is we will... Oh man, there's so much. This is excellent. Okay, so getting started, blah blah blah, HTML5. 800 hours of practice. Alright, AMP, let's get back to it. So add an H1 tag that says cat photo app to create a second HTML element below your hold. Alright, so we're going to create H2. If you're not familiar with H2, this is also a heading, and it's a smaller heading. I believe it goes all the way up to H6. So let's just say cat photo app. Cool. And yeah, it goes up to H6. Let's go ahead and run the test. Cool. We killed in that challenge as well. Some would say we're legend. Alright, so now it's asking us to create a... These are our errors that we're getting. So, let's give a little bit of space here. There's our opening paragraph. Here's our closing paragraph. And in between here, we want to say, hello paragraph. So, you can see that it's slightly different than our normal text here. So let's go ahead and run the test. There we go. We're killing it, man. What else can we do? I wish it would keep track of where we're at. So, anyhow, so make an H1 element visible on your page by uncommenting it. Alright, so this is kind of showing how we do comments. Kind of weird way, actually, compared to most languages. So let's go ahead and run the test. Hello program. Alright, not bad. So comment out your H1 element and your P element by leaving your H2 element uncommented. So comment out your H1 element and your P element, but leave your H2 element. So, I believe they just want us to do that. So now it should say cat photos app. Be sure to close each of your comments with... I did. But what I think they're actually asking is to leave this alone. Do dash dash and then do exclamation dash dash. I think that's what they prefer for us to do. Yeah, so it's just what we did worked. They just wanted us to add some more stuff instead of cutting it out and putting it somewhere. Lorem ipsum text. Replace the paragraph inside with a few words of kitty ipsum text. So it just wants to show that we can switch out stuff. Cool. Alright, so delete your H1 element. So we want to get rid of this H1 element, hello world. Run the test, and you can see it's gone. Not too shabby. Alright, so it looks like we're getting into a little bit of CSS actually. So change the or styling rather. So so the way we want to change the style, so it wants us to change the style of our H2 to blue. So we want this to be blue. The way you do this is called inline styling. So you have style equal, and then we're going to say color. We want to affect the color attribute, and we want it to be blue. Oh, red. Excuse me. All right. Nice. So it's not too bad. So what else do we have here? We have just removes. You know what they need to do? They need to make these like instructions just bullet points, or like 1, do this. Make them very, very simple. So remove the style attribute from your H2. H element should be blue. Or is this what they want? Delete your H2 style attribute and instead create a CSS style element. Okay, that's what they want us to do. They want us to do some style scripting type thing, looking thing. All right, so we want to say .h2, and we want to say color blue. There we go. Cool. So we basically just styled it in the editor, and we're just saying for all our H2s, make them blue. All right. So let's see. We are. What's it want us to do? Create style.blue-text. Create a class called. All right. So now it wants us to create a class called Red Text. So .red-text, and what do we want to do? And apply it to your H2 element. So .red text, and then we'll say we want it to apply to H2. So class is equal to. So here we'll say color red, and we'll say class is equal to red-text. And you can see right here it changed because this is more specific. Because it's a class, it overrides our H2. Alright, and let's do one more. And then we'll take a little break on this. I'm still trying to decide how long I should make these videos on here. This is actually a pretty good site, though. I like this a lot. So, apply the red text class to your H2 and P elements. So class is equal to red-text. Here, always yes, require a period at the end, but the class descriptions don't. Basically, what it's saying there is you can see that we have .red-text, and then we just have red text, so you don't have to call it. It's not the same exactly. Dot's more like letting it know it's a class, and then you're just calling it. So create a second P element. Okay. So let's create another P. And don't forget we have to get a closing P. And we want to put more of this in here. Just go ahead and copy and paste that in there. So there it is. Inside your style element, set a font size for all P elements. Alright, so P. No dot because it's not a class. And we'll say P. We'll say font dash size to 30 pixels. You see already it's much larger now. So let's go ahead and run that. Give the elements with red text class font size 16. Alright, so we'll say font dash size 16 px. And remember, this one's the reason this is smaller is because this one's more specific than just a general paragraph. Alright, cool guys, so we will continue on with our HTML and CSS in the next video. Back in one of my favorite new coding resources. It's called FreeCodeCamp, and it's 800 hours of practice free, and the kind of environment similar to Codecademy, so that's why I like it. Right now we're going to do HTML and CSS, and you can see this is just for HTML and CSS right here. It's about a 3-hour course, they say. So let's just go ahead and get started. You can see right here, this is where our text displays, and here is how we're styling. So what is it that we want to do? Make the P elements use monospace. So how do we do that? We go to font-family, and we set it to monospace. So let's run the test, and you can see it already changed it. So cool, not bad. So apply the font family of lobster to your H2 element. Alright, so we have a style here called .red text. So let's see if they are okay with us doing it like this, because I'm thinking they may want us to actually do it specifically for H2s. So, well, let's see. Yeah, okay, so not what they wanted. So in our style tags, we're going to add H2, and we're going to say font-family lobster. Import the lobster font. Oh, I didn't see that. So we don't know what lobster is, so we just go ahead and copy this. And I believe it's probably proper to put it above. So this is saying to our Google API, get the lobster font. That's actually a really nice font. And this is just saying what it is. It's a text and a CSS file, and it's a style sheet. So cool. Not that bad. Waypoint, specify how fonts should be degrade. So what they're talking about here is not every browser will have the font that you're looking for, and so you set up backup fonts. So for in this case, right here it's saying when lobster is not available, we want monospace. And then what else? Comment out your call to Google for the lobster for putting. Alright, so I'm just going to comment out this, and be sure to close your tag. Alright, so I think that's everything. So you can see right here it changes to a different font. Add images to your website. Alright, this is pretty straightforward. So where do we want it? Is there a specific image? What image do we want? Let's say Ryu. Alright, so we'll take Ryu from Street Fighter, and we will put it. Try it with this image. Oh, well, that's boring. Alright, we should have to show this around. Alright, so we'll put it after here. So image, we're saying img, and then the source for it, of where we're getting it, is right here, and we're putting a slash because it's a self-closing attribute, if that's the correct term. Your image element should have the class smaller image. Alright, so this is our src, and we'll say class is equal to a smaller dash image, and your image should be 100 pixels wide. So here we're gonna say dot smaller dash image for create a smaller image class, and we're gonna say that we want to set width to 100 px. So now that's gonna be smaller. Cool. Looks like everything's going according to plan. Alright, so what are we doing now? We're adding borders around your element. So borders are very important when trying to make things look good. So let's see. Some stuff. Create a class called thick green border. Your image element should have the class thick green border. Alright, so let's create a dot thick dash green dash border class. Give your image border with this. So border dash how thick do we want the border dash width to be? We want it to be 10 pixels, and then it's also border. Is it dash style? And we want that to be solid. So what it instead, like your border could be dashed also, and a couple other things. So that's what we mean by solid. And your border image element should be green. So we'll say border dash color. Is that it? No, dash color. And we're gonna set that to green. So let's go ahead and run these tests. Alright, so thick. Oh, we never changed this, so we want to change this to dot thick, or excuse me, thick dash green dash border. So there's our border. And I guess maybe they just want us to have both these, so we'll just replace this with smaller dash image. Oh, whoops. Okay, I see what they want. That's why it's important to read directions. So we are going to do one class, and we're basically putting two separate classes on here is what they want us to do. So it's still small, and it's still got a nice fat ass border. It's ugly as shit, but hey. Your image should have a border radius of 10 px. So your image should have a border radius. Alright, so border radius is what you use to essentially, how do you explain it? To curve the corners. So the radius, which is kind of a, so you see right now how that curved? There it is. Apparently at 50%, the border radius is a perfect circle. That's cool. I didn't know that, and that will make things in my life a lot easier. Knowing border radius 50%, we'll do a circle like that. Very nice. Alright, make sure you use percent of it. Pixel value and test. Cool. I like that. Let's keep it going. We'll do two more, I think. Actually, we just finished that CSS. We're going to do anchor tags next. So I'll see you guys in the next.